Thing's been banned in every game, right? So first time it's been picked today.
Nicely done. Okay, well, AG get their hands on one of the best playmakers in the entire game, but living by the Bard is such a treacherous lifestyle, Stuart, because those tempered fates, they can easily be game defining in both the best and the worst ways possible. So we'll see how well English Fits can pilot this champion, as Baguettes are gonna lock down a meta favorite in the Rumble for more than likely random in the mid lane. But we'll see where it ends up going in the end. Do Baguettes just want to slam their supportive choice since they already know it's going to be a Bard? No. Oh, Fiora! Is Final Wax putting his Huba cosplay on? Are we going to see some Fiora in the jungle?
I don't know, because this is a very comfortable pick for Random as well. So I think they have a lot of flexibilities. Baguette Random's always known for being one of the best Fiora players, and has always said about how strong he thinks Fiora is and how much he loves playing Fiora. So it's very much a Random champion. But then, like you said, so is Rumble as well. So I think we just got 2 picks for Random at the moment. But again, they have that flexibility, which I think is big. I wouldn't be surprised if Final Wax would also pick up the Fiora. Could be something that he can play as well. But yeah, I'd be very worried if I was AG right now looking at the first 2 picks for Baguettes. They are going to match up with a Wukong and a Swain. So a lot of lockdown, but you have to be quite careful here, like you said, with the Tempered Fate, because if you use Tempered Fate at the same time as like Wukong ultimate or Swain using his ultimate, it's not going to be that useful.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Senna.
There's a lot of AoE. There's a lot of AoE damage in this game. Equalizer, Demonic Ascension, Cyclone as well. Now, we have seen most of the Wukongs these days build full tank, and you are just an initiator trying to get something started, the party going. I would like to see the Wukong be a little bit more damage oriented this game, or at least a little bit more of a bruiser. But that does depend on what the rest of the damage profile is from AG, and if they are lacking a front line, then that probably will be the call for the Wukong to just go full tank. Baguette spanning out 2 more marksmen, recognizing that, hey, they don't have an AD carry yet, so let's thin out the pool a little bit more here.
I wonder what this Senna is going to be paired with. I mean, you could just pair Senna with someone like a Rumble, I guess. That probably could work completely fine, but I don't know if that's something that Heste or Josh is going to be comfortable on in the bot side. So it'd be interesting to see. Could be Ornn in that bottom side. Okay, so this is more of a style that you usually see with Senna. Senna with a tank, Senna with a bruiser in the bottom side. With Ornn can also be very, very powerful. So I think it's going to be Josh piloting the Senna, and then Heste is going to be the Ornn. As I mentioned, Ornn top lane is not really a thing, but Ornn support is actually very powerful with Glacial Augment and with so much crowd control in your back pocket, as well as the passive as well, being able to give one of your allies the ability to buy items outside the base. That in itself can also be very, very powerful.
Look at the last 2 lock-ins, though, from AG, Hecarim and Zeri. So, not only another champion that excels in the AoE and the team fight, has that AoE fear with the ultimate, the Onslaught of Shadows, and then Zeri is just going to try to live her best life in the chaos, thriving with her own mobility and just having to peel for herself. But the Nocturne, as you called out, from Baguettes, surely that is the jungler of choice for Final Wax, and by using the Paranoia to cloak the entire rift in darkness, as, oh boy, we are already 3 minutes into the game, and that's first blood on the table for Baguettes. Nice solo kill onto God's favorite.
So it looks like to start off the game, it looks like the duo lane was actually put into the mid lane here.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind. Oh, we're going back. Oh, we went back.
Gamers, I'm gonna pull out my Men in Black little flashy thing and just, look into the screen. Pew, flashbang. What you saw was not the 3rd minute into the game. We are in the beginning of the game. Nothing has happened. We have no idea what's going to transpire over the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Already some little Tango Django action in the mid lane. Dandelion forced to walk away, but does not pop a flash. He holds his cool here.
Interesting enough, Random is going to be piloting that Fiora. I think kind of expected when you see a Fiora. I think it's very, very scary when you have someone like Random on the Fiora. So he's actually going to be playing in the top lane this game instead of the mid lane. And it's going to be Patrez Dandelion on the Rumble mid. But like I said, interesting enough, this game, as we skip from 3 minutes to 1 minute, is that the AG actually decided to put their dual lane in the mid lane. So trying to put this Rumble behind early on. But what this does do in the bot side is it gives Senna so many free stacks early on. You could just push underneath the tower and Senna can just keep farming stacks early on, which is going to be very annoying to deal with as they're going to look for a play in the bottom side. There's nothing comes to play yet. As you can see, Ornn just using that Glacial Augment to help out there.
Meanwhile, Random does get his Fiora, as you teased during the draft might happen. Both Random and the Wukong are going for Grasp of the Undying, which is going to be the ideal keystone of choice, stacking up that HP as well as getting extra HP as well from those stacks and a nice amount of sustain that you are able to get in this lane. Just making sure that this Fiora is set up for success. Level 5, though, from the Hecarim. Nerf Pika P. Looking for the onslaught of Shadows, Fear, and an immediate getting out of the turret range.
And not really too much going on there, unfortunately. Just using the ultimate and then using the movement speed to get away to safety in the end. So not really too much left there for the side of AG to deal with. Meanwhile, the Nocturne just going to be trying to go on the top side of the map. Looks like Finalmax was able to put a ward into the top side of the jungle of AG. So now spotting where the Hecarim is, you can see the pings already going down onto the Hecarim there. So knowing exactly where they are going to be. And Josh just using a control ward there just to stop the backport there of the Swain is quite cheeky there, to be honest.
Yeah. In the end of the day, My Little Pony is forced to burn both of their summoner spells. So it does relieve a little bit of pressure from God's favorite here on the bottom side of the map. But something tells me, Stuart, as the Temper Fate does go wide, God's favorite is actually popping the Demonic Ascension.
It's too early.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like about 5 seconds from now, we're going to see the making of a solo kill on the bottom side of the map. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Swain might be in a bit of trouble, Rafa. I don't know about you, but I just have a tingly feeling. Oh, well.
Wait a minute. What is this? Oh my God, where Prophet's first blood goes to Baguettes.
It's like we knew it was going to happen, Rafa. It's like we saw it coming.
No way. Meanwhile, Dandelion, we haven't seen this far into the future. We do not have the time stone on our hand. That went back to Doctor Strange a couple years ago. AG trying to see if they can find some kills back. Random has popped the Grand Challenge, forcing the Wukong to flash away. Cyclone still spinning to block the incoming dash with that knockup. Random establishing pressure and showing the world why he is one of the best Fioras here in EMEA.
You see how quickly he can proc that ultimate and how quickly he can get that healing out as well. Very, very strong. And you can see Heste just crafting some items in the bot side of the map. I'd love to see, I would love them to add something onto Wild Rift to see how many souls Senna has, because they have it on PC League now, right, where they have like the little number. You don't have that on Wild Rift, unfortunately, so you can never really tell how many souls the Senna is on, but I'm sure the Senna is on plenty of souls because she's been able to stack up on this Swain early on. Actually just rushes straight into a man immune, so just going full damage build as well on this Senna, which you don't see too much. Sometimes you see this more utility build with Senna, with like Iceborne Gauntlet, with Glacial Augment as well could be another option, but of course this time with Glacial Augment on Ornn you don't need that instead, but even has Conqueror as a keystone as well, so yeah, plenty of damage coming on through there for the Senna.
Yeah boy, and then with every soul increment you're getting further and further on that attack range. Senna's going to be hitting from a mile away like a truck. Speaking of trucks, that's a big one from the Call of the Forge God. God's favorite gets ignited. Dubstep as Hess just walks away. Cool guys don't look at explosions, but meanwhile, Hess has got to get away from the explosion of My Little Pony. He gets ran over by a rampaging Centaur there. Nerf Pika P able to equalize the kills 1 for 1.
Yeah, very well played there overall. Great tempered fate to actually stop the engage from Baguettes, but also just follow up afterwards as well with the first ability, being able to lock down both the center and the Ornn on the backline. You can see the follow up from the likes of the Hecarim and also this area as well can definitely do a lot of damage as Random going head to head again, trying to battle it out again in this top side. Ultimate comes on through, actually parries away the Cyclone as well, Rafa. But here comes the Horsey, just in time. Oh, just in time.
The onslaught of shadows is the undoing of Random at the end of the day. But here comes Final Wax. He pops the Paranoia, trades a 1-for-1, and ensures that Random does not go down without some vengeance. But hang on a minute. Hess was not able to bail out Final Wax, just a little too close to the sun on that play, and this is going to give up the opportunity for AG to get the ensemble.
Yeah, the pony's starting to be quite strong here, Rafa. 4-0, starting to cook up a bit of things, and the Horsey's starting to get a little bit fed here, Rafa. And I'm a little bit worried now for Baguettes as the movement comes on through as well. Was very, very clean as well. Actually dodging away from knock up from the Ornn. You see the movement speed starting to be a really big problem with the phase rush. Can probably go back to base now and buy that Trinity Force. Yet that's exactly what he's going to build up. And he's going to go for that Black Cleaver as well. So this Hecarim is starting to get very, very fed this game, and I think they might struggle to try and lock down this Hecarim as well, because if you think of crowd control that you really need to lock down this Hecarim, it's only really the Ornn Rafa that they have, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's no single target lockdown unless Final Wax is able to stick to the Hecarim long enough for the fear to at least go through. But still, even if he's feared, this pony is still running at 600 miles an hour. Yeah. So it's not going to really do you any favors for Baguette, the fact that they do not have really guaranteed reliable lockdown, because even a Call of the Forge God can just be dodged with how fast this Hecarim is moving.
Random.
Oh, Hess, Call of the Forge God, goes wide, it was flashed away. Random, just one more on attack. Oh, the riposte! Well played from the Grand Duelist himself. Random gets the, I guess it was kind of a 1v1 since the Call of the Forge God didn't actually land there. But first brick does go over to AG.
Yeah, first blood does go over in the bottom side to AG. Hecarim unfortunately misses the ultimate there. A bit of a whiff, but it's going to try and pull the Rumble back. It is going to unstoppable. 5-0 now, but meanwhile, while this is all happening, Baguette's actually pushing into this top side and going for the tier 2 tower. They're not going to be able to get it in the end, but that is a lot of damage that Random can look to try and split push later on if he builds something like a Hold Breaker. So they do use the Herald quite well, AG, but on the opposite side of the map, Baguettes do well with the cross map to try and stop the aggression from AG in the end.
Dragon is alive for the taking, but as you've mentioned, Stuart, I really
no teams want to go for
crap about Dragon. Yeah, that Dragon is only going to be secure.
You know, I really hope that, like, with the new, you know, Ionia theme map that's coming out next year, I hope they change Dragons. I just hope.
What if Dragons are just removed from the game and you get a completely new objective in Ionia? What if there's like a different type of epic monster? Because we don't have a Herald, we have an Ensemble.
What are you cooking?
Listen, man, I haven't burned anything yet. I'm just saying it's all hypothetical. That could be the crazy thing for Ionia map, that they have this new neutral objective. Hang on. God's favorite pops Demonic Ascension and forces everyone from Baguettes away. Hess does find a decent knockup with the Call of the Forge God, but no real follow-up on top of it. So that's 2 ultimates traded.
Oh, well, that's another ultimate trade as well. Looks like they're just going to dive in onto the center as well, and they go a little bit too far, I feel like, onto the center, and she stays alive.
Oh my god! Onslaught of Shadows, that is one fast pony. Nerf Pika P just rampaging through the front lines and gets the hell out of there as he's taking way too much damage, and the rest of Baguette starting to swarm in on the isolated Wukong. That monkey is going back to the fountain, and Baguette's able to at least keep the gold lead somewhat in their favor so far.
Now, unfortunately, the Wukong's stuck on the wrong side of the map there, you feel like, because it's a little bit unfortunate there to try and, I think it's just trying to follow up on top of the Hecarim, but Hecarim has a lot of movement speed to get out. Wukong, on the other hand, yeah, doesn't really have a lot of ways to escape if you already use the the second ability there to try and engage instead. But overall, Rafa, this is a lot more of an even game than what we saw in game number one. Game number one was a pretty dominant victory for Baguettes, but this game you're kind of seeing the power of the Hecarim and how far ahead the Hecarim has got in this game so far. And also the scaling for AG is pretty decent as well. This Wukong's going to get very tanky and very annoying to deal with. The Zeri is scaling up as well. It looks like building Runans as the second item. So I think AG have a lot of scaling here to actually go head-to-head here against Baguettes.
Yeah. It's all on Nerf Pika P and how well he could pilot this Hecarim. Oh, Temper Fade stops the onslaught of Shadow Spheres from going through, but it does allow that final wax does not get out anytime soon. Randomito has popped the Grand Challenge. Random, can he get any more Vital Procs off of the Hecarim? As it's the rest of Baguettes trying to step up and occupy the damage here. Equalizer doing hell of work. God, flashing for the wall for the Demonic Ascension, tries to pull them all in. My Little Pony and Hest are getting sent to the glue factory. And AG can look to the Baron.
They're going to look to turn here, and Final Wax is not up for another 5 seconds, so I believe this is AG that's going to be taking over the Baron. God's Favor came in. God's Favor, sorry, came in at the right time, the right moment at the right time, flashes forward with the Swain's ultimate and takes down Josh and Heste in the end. And that's a really big turning point here for AG. Baron on the cards now for them. We know that the first Baron is not usually that strong because it doesn't last that long, but it's going to give a lot of time and a lot of space now for the players of AG to farm up and try and potentially push more of these towers.
This is one fed Rainbow Dash on my screen right here, Stuart. My God.
One found what?
One fed Rainbow Dash.
Oh, Rainbow Dash. Oh. It's like, what?
I mean, we got My Little Pony on one side, and we got Rainbow Dash on the other. And it's just 6-0. Death Stance acquired. Temper Fate. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful Tempered Fate. Get into the back line. Oh, but the knockup from Hess prevents Nerf Pika P. We're looking with that onslaught of shadows. That was the combo that was going to be so beautiful. But they put a stop to that one. Equalizer forced to just kill the wave and prevent the stall and the siege from coming through. But they're making it happen anyway on the bottom side of the map.
I think you saw why Baguettes banned the Hecarim in game number one, if I remember correctly. That game number one, they banned the Hecarim, and we were thinking to ourselves, why would you ban the Hecarim? I think Pika P is actually showing this game why he should be feared on this Hecarim.
Yeah, 3-item Hecarim just cannot be stopped at this point in the game. Has so much sustain, so much damage, so much healing, and another Tempered Fate beautifully set up right on top. 667 flash over the wall, no fear whatsoever. God is on their side tonight, as it is the rest of AG leading the charge against Baguette.
Absolutely crazy. The engage again. These Tempered Fates from the Bard have been near perfect every single time. There might have been a few where the engages could have came in from the Hecarim or the Wukong instead, but my God, every single time he finds them, the team are just on the same page every single time. The Hecarim's going in with the engage, the Zeri dash over the wall as well. And they'll finally pick up a dragon. They're like, yeah, there's a dragon on the cards. Okay, I guess I'll pick it up. Random though, trying to find a kill. He's gonna flash forwards.
Didn't quite get the timing on the Vital Proc outside of the stasis. Does get the kill in the end. Baguettes trying to stop the hemorrhaging that AG have inflicted upon Baguettes in this game too. They're going to look for the multiple pushes. Wait a minute. These picks, if they are stagnated, could give Baguettes a window to get so much done macro-wise. Nerf Pika P trying to defend the remnants of his jungle, but he's got to give it away. He has to be very self-preservative and just abandon these resources while his team is down numbers.
Does give Baguettes a little bit of time though to try and take some of these towers. They're all going to take a mid lane tier 1 and a bot lane tier 2. So them few picks they were able to get, it was just the Swain overextended on the bottom side. No need to stay on the bottom side there for so long. The rest of your team's already gone back. Just go back with your team, and then Bard being caught out as well. Unfortunately, a pretty bad place to recall in the end, and that does mean that there is a chance here for Baguettes to come back. A few kills, and they are still in the goal lead, Rafa. Even after everything that's happened in this game, they are still in the goal lead. Now they're going to go in on Zeri, and Zeri might be one shot.
Woo! And the stasis gives Final Wax an ability to reposition Onslaught of Shadows from Nerf Pika P, allows him to escape the Grand Challenge. Random on the front, finds God's favorite, sends it back to the fountain. The equalizer is huge, and Hesta is leading the charge once again. Nerf Pika P forced to flee the scene of the crime, and the rest of AG have lost their footing. Momentum was on their side only for a brief moment before the Baguettes swept it away under them.
And you're seeing how scary this ultimate can come in. The ultimates can come in here for Baguettes. As soon as everything goes dark with Nocturne, you don't know where the Ornhorn's coming in. You don't know where the Senna ultimate is coming in. And because you have the darkness with the Nocturne and this insane combo of ultimates afterwards as well, if Baguettes are the ones to engage first, they're the ones that can use the go button. And you saw the Zeri just went from 100 to 0 so quickly. There's no stasis on this Zeri. I'm not too sure why this Zeri goes for something like Gale Force this game when you have a Nocturne jumping on top of you. You have the Rumble ultimate as well. You have so many ultimates that can one-shot you. You need a stasis on this Zeri to stay alive. And say goes for Gale Force, so yeah, I guess more dashes to just die.
Yeah, you have to be insanely precise on the timing of skating the wall if you're trying to bait out Final Wax to your position before he blows you up. But because this is a one-shot assassin build from the Nocturne, I think he's going to be able to get that consistently off every single time. So I'm with you in the same boat. And Baguettes, even though things were looking a little dire, it looked like AG had the composition of their dreams finally going forward for them. Nerf Pika P, yet to die this game, is going to have to pull off a miracle if he is able to save his base from going down under. Baguette still on the push, sieging in multiple lanes and forcing AG to the brink.
You see now how scary the Fiora is on the side lane. The Wukong only has 9,000 gold. The Wukong doesn't even have 10,000 gold yet.
Three-man Tempered Fate. Can they follow up with the Onslaught of Shadows? But he's nowhere quite near as he is forced out of the fight early on. Onslaught of Shadows is still at the ready. Finally goes in. Only it's a two-man fear. Not much to follow up on. Wukong is the first one to drop. And the Hecarim is trying to flee. Trying to sustain back up. But B have lost out 3 members of My Little Pony and Hess are forced to retreat. They took out an inhibitor in the mid lane and the bottom side of the map, but AG hold their ground for now.
And Final Wax was trying to jump in onto the backline, but just didn't have enough damage in the end. The Hecarim actually saves his ultimate, doesn't use it on the backline, but instead waits for Final Wax to jump in and actually use it defensively instead. And Rafa, this might be us going to game number 3. There's only a Senna and an Ornn, and the whole squad of AG are looking to push on through.
They're trying to kill the minion wave as fast as possible. The Tempered Fate stalls time for now. 900 HP on the Nexus, but there's no more minions there to push. They have to wait another seconds. My Little Pony and Hester are looking for the chase, and AG's hopes and dreams have been dashed away. Baguettes are able to hold the line for now. Dandelion is using the portals to try and cut off the retreat paths. If they can find Nerf Pika P, it is so game-defining as he barely makes it out alive.
Oh my, the timing there on the ultimates again was kind of the misplay that we were talking about in Champion Select, Rafa. The Tempered Fate was great, it stopped the Senna, but then Hecarim just needed to be patient, wait for the Senna to come back up, or at least try and attack the Nexus to end. But unfortunately, in the end, the minions, Heste's ultimate was enough to clear on through, and now they're just going to go for the Hail Mary to try and stop this Elder Drake.
Elder Drake up on the table, 4K HP, and Nerf Pika P's first death of second game of the series might just be his last, and the one that defines the rest of this series as Baguettes secure the Elder Dragon, do away with the biggest threat from the Turkish squad, and the French are on the march. They are looking to push into the base and destroy the Nexus once and for all.
And the Baguettes come victorious. It wasn't easy. Game number 1 was pretty easy for them, but this game number 2, they had to sweat for it in the end. A 20-minute back and forth game. There was so much hope in this game for AG. I felt like they had it in them. The Hecarim pick in the end was so huge. It felt like a really comfortable pick. You know, you saw so many engages, so much dodging in terms of the abilities in the end, but just a few misplays in the end, you know, going for the end instead of maybe preparing for the Elder Dragon instead, which was coming up as well. Just so close in the end from AG, but Baguettes again showing their clutch factor in the end and showing why they can still considered some of the best in EMEA.
And it's just mind-boggling to see them be able to bounce back in such grand fashion. And I think the only appropriate way to summarize that series and especially that second game there, Stuart,